For the Aussies.
Tom was in yesterday.
Yeah, you can tell by his white skin, can't you?
So, thank you for joining us, everybody. This is the round robin match 122, Pool A. It's Tuesday, I think, and we have a match between Great Britain and Australia, and the stakes really piled on now as a quick look to the table shows just what Great Britain's task is, as New Zealand won that last game with Turkey by a very convincing scoreline of 5-1. GB have to win here, and it is essential that for the remainder of the tournament they keep their goals against down to a minimum, and we've got underway here. Australia, this is their only team that's at these World Championships, and they need to they're getting better. They've got the player back from illness, and I think most of the people in the team aren't 100%. And it's a similar thing that happens every year. They go over Aussie boys. I remember little Josh McKenzie from Perth, who's was ill, and he missed a lot of I think he missed the final in Stellenbosch when he was out ill. But I've got Hamish D sat beside me. Thank you for joining me, Hamish.
It's okay, Lewis. It was a good bit of play there by GB going down that far, not far, near left wall, but Australia got it and pushed GB back. But I think there's been infringement by Australia, so it's going to be a free puck to GB.
So down go the bodies. Nathan Archer to take the advantage puck. Little flip underneath the play. Play just continuing in the centre. The Aussies turned around. They love to give it a bit of a backline switch.
So there's been a stick infringement by GB there. So Australia going to have advantage puck about halfway up the pool.
Mixed bag of results yesterday for Great Britain as they beat France yesterday.
No, they won both their games yesterday, but it's just the way they won them they won't be very pleased with.
Yeah, they had a 4-2 win over France, which they'll be very pleased with, because they went behind early in that game and they really commanded through that performance. And then you had a game against Argentina, which just GB couldn't really get going and play the type of hockey they wanted. The Argentine men, really great defence throughout the game.
There's some really good play here from Australia, and they've got a good drive going. Looks like Rupert Ironside-Smith has cleaned up there and going to try and take it to the wall and let George Life come through.
But yeah, you can't take anything for granted with Australia. They're a good team. They've been here before. They lost the final in 2015 against Turkey, and they've had a very good pedigree with a lot of bronze and silver medals as you go through the under-19s processes. And having Captain Tom Milner back in the team, number one, is a massive, massive psychological boost for the Australian team that are playing here.
There was a fantastic drive there by Nathan Archer, who last night was complaining that I was praising George Life too much, so I'm going to praise Nathan Archer there for his great work down the wall.
That's just giving in, Hamish. You should be praising George Life even more.
No, I'm going to make Nathan happy. The GB is still doing well here, going to drive in the middle with Harry Thompson on the puck.
There's Dan Parslow breaking off the wall. Dan Parslow gets it forward to his teammate. Puck lost though. Advantage is going to go in favour of Australia. So a positive drive by Great Britain. Brought to a close. Out for Great Britain in this match, Lyndon Beddoe and Martin John Turner. And Matthew Adams, Harry Thompson, Tom Burgess and Chris Parsons wait in the sin bin. So Nathan Archer brings the puck off the wall, gets it into the central channel, but it's Australia who pick up the puck and try to go back to the wall. Little drag back and trying to go through, but Tom Pitchforth picks up that puck from back where his fins are, and down goes Rupert Ironside-Smith on the drive.
And the call's going to be obstruction by Australia, so it's going to be a free puck to GB. But Australia going to make use of the timeout here with 4 minutes into this half.
Yeah, an early timeout. So maybe the coach for the Australians has seen something that they need to address, and a possible weakness in the GB formation and where they set up. So that'll be really interesting to see how they do from that. So Australia have had a really mixed bag of results, because they've they've had some games which have been close. They kept Turkey down to a scoreline of 5-1, and then they played up against the Netherlands, and a match I think they must have gone in with the wrong sort of mentality, expecting to win that game, and they lost that game 4-2. The Netherlands were on a roll, and you should have been inside the arena at that time. You think it's loud when GB are in here, when there's enough of the orange wall to support, because all the under-24 women were there for the first half. This place got incredibly loud.
Yeah, there's been some great support from the Dutch here. Probably the second best set of fans apart from the GB crowd.
Best set of travelling supporters. They had one seat across and probably came on the ferry. Or they could have come up from London and used the old tunnel. The French don't really bring people in till the finals, because they just believe they're going to be in the finals.
There's been quite a good bit of French support, I'd say.
If you don't like anything that I say about the French, you can complain. But with your complaint, you also need to provide a French-speaking commentator, because nobody comes in, puts their piece in. But GB having a nice attack onto the goal. Australia really pinned back there. Can they get out? And
I think they've got a
big push.
And they're going to give it, so we're 1-0 to GB. I think that'll be the number 2 George Life, another goal. But of course he has to be playing awfully, because I cannot say anything nice about George.
George clearly stole that goal off Nathan Archer there. Disappointing that George Live didn't use optimum teamwork to support his good friend Nathan Archer. I'm sure it'll all work out, Hamish, and there'll be something else in there.
Did you see that bit where there was a scrummage in the back of that? Did you see that?
Good tackle there by Nathan Archer, trying to take it back through the middle, but Australia retrieved the puck and are trying to take it out wide now.
Play on the far side wall where the subs are. Australia get some fresh bodies in. GB forward line working, and they'll try and find the best opportunity to use their substitutions. Australia trying to come down and break into the central channel, but GB are just cutting them out. It's a very ones and twos drive, and GB have the bodies down to match it, and quite easy to match ones and twos in defence. You need 3 people swimming at a defensive line to really cause problems. Advantage being played by a referee on the surface. 2 referees now. A stoppage. It's the referee in front of me who's being given the foul. Illegally stopping the puck by Australia. Advantage Great Britain. It'll be their advantage puck. 2 metres away from the far side wall.
Nathan Archer's going to take this and he's going to try and flick it through, but it was stopped straight away. But good recovery by Tom Burgess there.
Back to the surface we go.
GB have flicked it into the middle there, and it looks like it's on the right side. I think the Australian number 10 they're going to try and take it to the corner, but we have had another infringement. It's going to be an equal puck.
GB advantage, no, equal puck. Taken to the wall by Australia. They've done really well to hold Great Britain out so far. They've not had much time in British territory, but they've had a very good defence so far to stop the British team from coming close. They've only had one real chance, but here they come again, the British drive down the wall. Great Britain leading by a score of 1-0. Great Britain just don't want to concede and keep the pressure on New Zealand, who now sit at the top of the group.
Well, it's popped out there to Nathan Archer, but he's been tackled by the Australian number 10, Emmanuel Zapata. He's gone out wide now.
So if you didn't stay around and hear in the commentary for the Turkey versus New Zealand game, all you fans wanting Great Britain to top this group, you now need to start cheering for the French team. Part of it comes down to goals against, but if France are able to beat Turkey or New Zealand, I mean Turkey already behind, New Zealand play France this afternoon. If New Zealand are beaten in that French game, then Great Britain will top the group. And the puck has popped out and it's gone into the back of the goal tray. Goal scored.
Big by Tom Burgess there, number 12.
Yeah, and Nathan Archer was right in the centre of that. Good work, Nathan, bringing that drive off the wall.
GB win the strike there. Looks like Australia going to push GB back a bit. Right underneath the GB subspin now.
Play moving out to the left. Looking for the support.
Brilliant
Didn't see it in enough time.
By Manuel Zapata.
But Manuel's going to get pulled up for a stick infringement. He didn't take it cleanly, so maybe not such a great tackle after all. GB driving. Australia take the puck to the far side. GB trying to get in between the lines and make a drive towards the Great Britain goal tray, and still just kept around in that far side corner. GB wanting to bring it out as opposed to going up the far side wall.
An advantage going to go in favour of the Australian team there. Australia going to hand flick this out to the far wall, and looks like they managed it, and they're going to get a bit of a drive going. Australia were holding onto the puck though. Australia were holding onto the puck well there, but there's been a foul and it's been obstruction by Australia, so it's going to be a free puck to GB, but Richard Adams has now called the GB timeout. There's 15 seconds until play restarts. There's some good play from GB out here, haven't we, Lewis?
We have had some very good play.
Yeah, they've not let Australia make very much ground at any points yet. And they've got the 2 goals.
I must apologise, I've been feeding false information. New Zealand plays South Africa in the last game of the day. Turkey do play again, but they're playing the under-24 men's team from Canada. But still plenty of upsets possible in this tight under-24 men's group here in Sheffield.
Is he actually? No. But he shouted. I wasn't here. He shouted and screaming.
GB have won this put back in. Don Berger can try and flick it in the middle, but there was no one there. It's going out wide now. Short life from the puck, and he's got a chance to get it through there.
New Zealand, France tomorrow.
Might have flicked it through, and Harry Thompson's flicked it out wide again. Unfortunate for George's life there is the Australian number 12, Daniel Gold. He's on the move. But Tom Pitchford's won the puck back there and giving it away. There's a great amount of space there for Rupert Ironside-Smith. He's going to come to this near side wall. I'll flick it back in the middle to Tom Burgess, who's going to try and get it out wide to Elliot Atkins, but he did not manage it. Australia getting a good drive in underneath the GB subs bin. There's very few GB players down. Australia could have a chance to score here. Looks like GB recovered to get back. And there's been a foul, and it's going to be a free puck to GB. It's a good moment for a free puck for GB there, isn't it, Lewis? They've got Australia looking solid for that minute. GB took that advantage puck and they're going to put it on this far side wall underneath the GB subs bin. With 44 seconds left on the clock, so it's not long for GB to hold out here and keep this score 2-0. There's going to be 20 seconds left on play. Australia driving it here. There's 10 seconds left for GB just to keep this puck out of their tin. It looks like GB are going to be successful with the foul being called with 2 seconds left, so it's going to go into half time being 2-0 to Great Britain. We have 30 seconds until play restarts here. What do you think Australia's games plan is going to be, Lewis?
I think they're on a little bit of damage limitation. I mean, they're not out of this game. They're only trailing by a score of 2-0. So they're well, if they get the next goal, then they could put a lot of pressure on Team GB here. But I don't think I see that happening. I think that's what they've got to try and do, to answer your question. But
yeah, I think from previous games, GB are going to be too strong for Australia. We'll probably get a few more here. We've had a foul here, and it's going to be a free puck for Australia. On this near side wall. Australia going to take this to number 13, Mason Gillespie. Just flicks it through the middle. Barry Thompson doing his best to win it back here. Just popped out to Nathan Archer, and he's going to take it down that back wall. Australia flicked it back into the middle here.
play on the far side of the pool. Continuing to play down the left side wall for Great Britain. Slowly trying to get out and ease the pressure which has been caused. And now a chance for one of the GB wings to swim into some space. Lay off into the centre. There they go again.
Good play from Chris Parsons there.
Yeah, good use, making sure he stayed down. Advantage GB once again. GB moving down the pool. A little bit more and a little bit more.
Topic was going to take this. Just flicked it in the middle. GB keeping it in there. Matty Adams on the puck now.
Just a little bit slow to move it. And then the British number 2's there. And it's pushed forward to Chris Parsons. And there's Matthew Adams, who's come in trying to turn. Got support there. It's Harry Thompson. Harry Thompson to the inside. Just evading the pass. And there's Tom Pitchforth going through the free arm of Tom Milner. Matthew Adams trying to put in the hit and go down the wall. Turns his stick so he doesn't draw the gloving foul. But is the referee going to save it? That's what it was?
No, I think it was a stick infringement by Matty Adams.
Yeah, they were playing advantage to try and let Australia bring it out of their own corner.
He just missed the puck there and went up the opposition's playing arm. Well, Australia are going to take their time out here.
Yes, while we do, we'll pass on some news which is very close to everybody here in Sheffield 2019. Batley Bear, where is Batley Bear? Has anybody seen Batley Bear? If anybody has any information of Batley Bear's whereabouts, please come and contact either myself down in the media suite here, the Amiga suite. I can be contacted by most people. Vicky Maynard is also, she's available on the shop. They would dearly like their bear back. I don't know if there's reward, if there's found, but please try and reunite the GB squads with Batley Bear. Thank you.
GB going to take this free puck with Tom Pitchforth. He's going to try and flick it through the middle there.
GB trying to force the play into the middle. Still in that central channel, but now it's come out. It's Hunter Jones who moves the puck out to the side, but it's flicked back in. Obstruction and advantage Australia, so they've got a chance to clear their lines.
Australia's going to take it to the number 6. Bailey and Air.
Big flick, and it's knocked down off Emmanuel Zapata's leg, but play continues. There's Hunter Jones on the puck, trying to play it back, but it's cut out well by Chris Parsons, who descends from the surface of the water. Emmanuel Zapata locking the puck on the wall. Now GB break towards the goal, the flick loose and into the centre. Harry Thompson forces it out wide. Moving down the side wall, Tom Milner, the captain. The flick forward, knocked about. Tom Pitchforth has a 45 into the central channel. Goes to the right, goes for the flick, and just to the side of the goal.
Very good play by Tom Pitchforth there. Unlucky not to get the goal, but I think it's been put in by Harry Thompson there. To make it 3-0 to Great Britain in this game.
Effectively, what Tom Pitchforth did there in underwater hockey teams was like hitting the post in football.
Oh, Tom Burgess.
You know, you get the flick, and it's just missed the goal tray by that much. Pretty close to hitting the post there. Nine and a half minutes left to go. And indeed we do go, as both teams off to try and receive the strike. Great Britain are the ones who win it. A slow take and a little flick back through by Tom Burgess.
Australia makes some good progress here through Johannes Roelofs.
Still moving the Aussie team. Out to the side. Play on the wall. Australia trying to find a way to break off and start their own attack, switching through the midline. They've got a player to the outside. Expect a turn here back to the inside as the players go up. There's nobody down for him, and he's just taken too long. Picked off and a chance to swim here.
Held onto that puck for far too long there.
It's not going to break as fast as we expect by Rupert Ironside-Smith, and he's dispossessed, as there was no support for him either.
Elliot Atkins on the puck now. Managing to control it, but he's managed to keep it again. He's got George Life support. He's going to flick it into Nathan Archer. He's just going to take it to the other wall, it seems.
Sorry, I've not heard anything from Court B all morning, and now I've just heard that one of the Spanish commentators has come in to do his bit, and I really do like it when those guys join us. And for anybody who will be watching the finals, if you're just watching a game, we're going to hopefully have 2 streams, one in English using the commentators we have here, and then one from anybody with listening in foreign languages. So depending on those finals will depend who is going to be speaking, but hopefully 2 channels will be available as of Thursday when we just go down to 1 court here. Nice flick forward by Great Britain. Nathan Archer there on the puck, getting it out the corner. Turning back to face forwards, flicks it to his teammate. His teammate's dispossessed.
Elliot Atkins there was trying to put it into the middle to Tom Pitchforth, but Tom Pitchforth went up at the wrong time. Australia have got a chance here to keep moving. And
Nathan Archer did really well there to get down and stop their swimming away. Hamish, do you think we've done a good enough job of name-dropping Nathan Archer?
I mean, I don't think he doesn't have anything to complain about. We've been singing his praises this game so far.
Does that mean we can stop, or do we have to keep going for another 6.5 minutes?
I think we should keep going.
Okay then, let's see where's Nathan Archer. He's still in the water somewhere, so we'll find something to talk about.
He's above the tin, he's coming down on the tin, but he's not needed. And he's going to be taken out to that far wall underneath the subspin.
Play still on that far side wall underneath the Great Britain subs area. GB go through the rotations, and now they get alternative bodies in the water. Stoppage in play in the subs area. Harry Thompson, George Live, Rupert Ironside-Smith and Elliot Atkins, although Tom Pitchforth swaps out for George.
I think that's our first sending out of the game. It's going to be Elliot Atkins. It's been a rather... There's been a few fouls, but we've not had any sending outs yet, so it's been...
No, that is correct.
Looks like there's been a foul. Australia are going to score here. And Australia have scored. They flicked it through the middle there, and I very quickly managed to pop it into the goal.
And it was Manuel Zapata with the goal there, and that's something that will not help GB in their quest to try and top this group, as you need to keep goals against to a minimum as long as possible. Yeah. So we'll just see how they're able to recover from that. Tables will be updated in relatively quick succession.
I think GB were very disappointed with that there. I mean, dominant for the majority of the game. That's one of Australia's few attacks they managed to get that far up the pool.
Yeah, and I did say at the start of the game, you know, I expect GB to win this game, but Australia could punish them. I don't think they'll come back into the match to get a result, but they were always capable of scoring goals, and they've done that against all the big teams. They've done it against New Zealand, they've done it against Turkey, and they've done it against the British boys. All three teams, if they win their next match. So Great Britain winning this one would take them on to 21 points, tied with New Zealand for at the top of the group. Turkey still with games to play and big nations to play as well. So the under-24 men's group, the only single round robin division here in Sheffield, is one of the most exciting.
We see Matty Adams trying to recover the puck there.
Play the underbody shovel pass. Chris Parsons just has the puck knocked under his body and he can't reach it, so he services, but Australia on another good attack, and GB just have to be careful they don't get anything here. There's advantage being played on the surface of the pool. Still advantage being played. Australia really piling under pressure, and as plays taken over to the far side, advantage was over. No calls by any of the referees. So good defence by GB after a long advantage play for Australia. Now they switch it. That's the typical Australian style, going around the back, but they haven't really been able to pull it off throughout this match so far. And now a chance as Nathan Archer comes away with the puck. We'll ignore the fact he lost it. Good job, Nathan Archer.
Brilliant work by him, but Rupert Ironside's just got it now. He's getting some speed. Australia have come to the wall and met him, but he's still going. He has now just been dispossessed.
Fouled constantly as he was moving down there. Stick foul by the Australian defender, and Richard Adams is signalling that he would like to take his time out, and the Argentine referee on the deck has acknowledged that. So we have a score. Great Britain leading by 2 goals with a score at 3-1 over Australia. We've got 2 minutes and 25 seconds left in the second half of the game. GB just taking their time out. The game pretty much won for GB, but they still have to maintain levels of concentration to keep Australia out for the remainder of the game. We've got more Great Britain games coming up for you later today. All our teams in action for multiple games.
Play will start in 15 seconds now with a GB advantage puck. Tom Pitchford's going to take this. They're going to keep it on the wall. Looks like Australia out in the corner now. GB is still going though. Tom Pitchford's been down for a while now. Looks like GB could get another goal here, but it's popped out that far side. GB is still trying. I think that's Dan Parslow. He didn't manage to put it in with a brilliant bit of defensive work there from Australia. But the call's going to be not quite sure what's going on. Is it a GB player getting sent out there? Or is it an Australian player is going to be sent out? It's going to be an advantage puck to GB. It's going to be a good chance here for GB to get this goal. Tom Pitchford taking it. He's going to flick it in, but he's getting pushed out to the outside. But GB are battling down that back wall with George Life, and they have managed to score again.
Oh, Nathan's not going to be happy. You mentioned his, his nemesis's name.
Well, some great work from Nathan Archer there, and the sub's been cheering George on.
Yeah, and he wastes no time in coming to touch the back wall. Nathan from Batley, home of Batley Bear, who is still missing.
And the goal went to Ellie Atkins there. Great work from the lads.
I said just pan. I think the belt's breaking. Just pan it.
And GB win the strike there.
Yes, they do, and Australia have it, but they're on the back foot once again as we're in the last minute. Australia just trying to see the game to its end as we have 30 seconds left to go in the second half. Apologies for the stopping of the camera, we're just preserving it as we think there might be a little problem, so rather than continuing it if it's not quite right, we'll check it so that we can make sure we have as much tracking camera as possible as GB go down the other end, and they might not have scored on the first time, but it was definitely put in the second time, and we'll see who got this goal. And it's Nathan Archer. Nathan Archer scores just before the game ends. What a way for Nathan Archer to end that match. Good show. I think a good, well-balanced performance in offense and defense by Nathan Archer, would you say, Hamish?
I mean, Nathan Archer clearly has to be player of the match for scoring there and just being in the pool.
Yes, maybe so. The final score is 5-1. 5-1 the final score. Great Britain beating Australia in the men's under-24s division. And for one more time, I will just ask for the people, because they are very concerned. Batley Bear is still missing. If you have seen him anywhere about the pool or around the area in Sheffield, please come and let one of the volunteers know. Any information is truly welcomed. Thank you.